Yeah. Y'all watching the Ethiks mixtape show, and I'm your host, Viktory BX Supreme Promoter. Basically, nah, Shane. Basically, yeah, man. Thank y'all for watching a new episode of Ethiks mixtape show. Yo, anybody that like this episode, I'll be very grateful if anyone could follow me on Instagram. Also, if you like this episode, please like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. But when you do subscribe, please ring the bell. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Oh, I forgot to pull up the cup. Basically. Anyway. anyway. Yo, me and my one of my supporters, you know what I'm saying, my brother Tyrone from Brooklyn, big shouts to Tyrone. We was talking about the movie Baby Boy, and he brought it to my attention that there's different money references that you could pick up from the movie Baby Boy. References that I didn't even pick up before, or money or financial education or financial literacy lessons or points that you could check out in the movie Baby Boy. Even though the Baby Boy movie wasn't all about financial education and all that, it was basically about a so-called black man, an original man that comes from L.A., the hoods of Los Angeles, and trying to maneuver through life. Basically, the good times and hard times being an original man living in Los Angeles or living in the hood in general. So of course, money plays a factor. Hold up, I gotta fix this little decoration. Oh man, I just got this from the thrift shop. Y'all like this? Anyway, I'm trying to let my sister Gabrielle get some shine. Anyway, she's mad famous. Anyway, the Mexicans love her, so she got enough promotions. Anyway, I sell shirts, by the way. I'm a collector. But yeah, but that's what the movie was about. A black man living in the hood, going through the ups and downs. But I was watching Baby Boy again because I watched it plenty of times. It's not really my favorite hood movie, but it's a classic. In the movie Baby Boy, if you check it out, he was telling first of all the Tyrese who played Jody, right? Yeah, you already know Tyrese played the head character Jody. He was talking to his man Sweet Pea, who was played by Omar Gooden, and he was telling Sweet Pea about different ways to get money. He was just sitting there. He was just standing there analyzing the financial world. He was like, "Yo, you either a customer or you either he's like you either you either a seller or a buyer." So he was putting his man onto game. He was like, "Yo, look at that guy selling CDs." He made a reference to the guy selling bootleg CDs and whatnot. And he was like, "Look at that chick right there selling cakes." So he was like trying to motivate his man Sweet Pea, but at the same time, he was motivating himself. He was like, "Yo," he was basically saying there's different ways of getting money. You know what I mean? Because one thing I like about the Baby Boy movie, it's not my favorite hood movie, but one thing I like about the Baby Boy movie, it talks about a brother who didn't have no money. Because in the movie Jody, he didn't have no money like that. He didn't have no job. He had no steady income. He was living with he had his mother, and his girlfriend was holding him down, right? So basically, his two of his baby mamas was holding him down. So he had 3 women holding him down. So he needed money for himself. He felt like, okay, I'm a grown man. Living with these women is cool, but I need to make my own money. So he came up with the idea of buying women clothes for low and selling it for more, right? And one thing I like about the movie is when you watch a typical hood movie, where a brother doesn't have no money, where does he resort to? What's the first thing that he resort to? Selling drugs or robbing somebody or robbing people, right? But no, it wasn't like that with Baby Boy. Jody was like, nah, I'm gonna sell women clothes. Even though he bought the clothes from Boosters. But come on, how much time in jail you could do by buying clothes from Boosters to make money? I mean, whatever the police don't know won't hurt you. It's not like the feds is watching niggas, watching niggas with binoculars, seeing who's buying bootleg clothes. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter where he's buying the clothes from. He's not stealing the clothes, you know. So that's a little bit gray area, but at least he's making legit money. He's not doing something that could really land him. He's not really doing something that could give him like 5 years or let's say even football numbers in jail, right? And he's doing something that he can't get killed for. That's what I like about the movie. It was different in that aspect, you know, because not all hood movies are the same. Hood movies give off different messages. That's what I like about the movie, yo. And he was trying to put his man He put his man Sweet Pea on because his man Sweet Pea was like, "Yo, man, you should help me get a job." And Jody was like, "Why should I help you get a job? Because you're my man." And Jody was like, "Okay." He gave him some merchandise to sell on the street, right? So he could make some money, and at the same time, hit Jody off with his share. So Jody hit the streets trying to make money off some chick in the street. Y'all seen it already. And he got the girl's attention, and the woman asked him, "Yo, what material this dress is made of?" And the dude was like, "Oh, you want to be all technical, blah blah blah. I'm just a black man in the hood trying to do something positive, and you giving me a hard time, blah blah." But that goes to show in the movie, right? He was very impatient. You know what I mean? Like Sweet Pea in the movie, he didn't want to sell drugs. He didn't want to make money robbing motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But he was very impulsive about money. So the movie was showing you the impulsiveness that people have when it comes to cash. You know, it shows the lack of patience that people have when it comes to so-called money. And he fucked up that sale. If it was me, I would have been like, "Oh, I don't know, sister." Or if I knew what the dress was made out of, I would tell her. But if I didn't know, I'd be like, "Oh, my bad, sister. I don't know." Blah blah. But it's up to you if you want to buy it. I'm not. Ain't no stress. Because when it comes to me selling merchandise, I go with the flow. I don't force nobody to buy diddly squat. Okay. That's my morning coffee. You know, I have to have my drugs in the morning time. But yeah, but he fucked that up. But that goes to show that everybody cannot do what Jody do. Everybody, everybody cannot be a salesperson unless they develop that patience to be a salesperson. You know, a wise man once told me that everybody is not ready for primetime TV. He just wasn't ready for primetime. And another thing I got from the movie Baby Boy was the dude Melvin, the guy Melvin that basically Melvin was the dude that was going out with Jodie's mother. He was like his stepfather in a way, but it wasn't really married. Melvin was played by Omar. No, not Omar. I'm sorry. By Ving Rhames. Ving Rhames. Rest in peace to the brother, by the way. But yeah, you know the notorious stepfather of Jodie, the nigga that choked him out. But he was putting him on to game because the backstory of Jodie is Jodie was an inmate from jail, from prison. He went to jail for killing somebody. And remind you, in the movie, he mentioned that he's a Hoover Crip. Now he didn't mention that he was a Hoover Crip. Okay, he still claimed his gang. He still claimed his set, but he wasn't no longer crazy. He was one of those gang members. He was one of those gang members that still claim his gang, but he's no longer a gang banger. Okay, he represent that side of the gang life that a lot of people don't think about, because a lot of people think that every gang member is a gang banger. No, every gang member is not a gang banger. Look at Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is a perfect example. This nigga don't be riding in motherfucking lowriders, going on motherfucking drive-by shootings. You know what I'm saying? He's too big for that. You know, he's making too much legit money for that. He don't be like spraying on motherfucking walls and you know and shit like that. He's a gang member, but not a gang banger. And Snoop Dogg is an entrepreneur. But going back to Melvin came out of jail. You know, he's a former killer, and he changed his life around, and he has a legit business. He built a legit business. I forgot what business that he had in the movie, but he was a legit entrepreneur. It wasn't another brother not selling drugs, not making money robbing people, not making money selling unregistered guns, nothing like that. So he was basically representing another side of gang life, the positive side. And in the movie, Jodie was talking shit about Melvin. Basically, he was talking shit about Melvin, right? His mother's boyfriend. And Sweet Pea was like, yo, do you want me to kill that nigga? You want me to murder that nigga for you? Yo, Sweet Pea even though he was trying to change his life around, that brother was about that life for real. Like he was game for whatever. Like you know. So Melvin was hearing Jodie talking. So instead of him storming inside his room and talking mad shit or spazzing out, Melvin put Jodie and Sweet Pea onto financial literacy on the low. In the movie, Melvin was like the gangster version of Rich Dad Poor Dad. For real. This is what he said in the movie. For those who forgot what he said. What is this at? Okay, he was like, there are two different types of niggas in this world. The nigga with guns and butter. The guns are the stocks and bonds, artwork and shit that appreciates over time. What is butter? The butter is cars, clothes, jewelry, all that other shit that don't mean shit after you buy it. That was is all about. Guns and butter, you little dumb motherfuckers. Oh man. Oh man. So he had to be a little aggressive. Because he is a Hoover Crip, right? He had to be a little aggressive in the movie. So it was funny. Oh man, I didn't notice that but he dropped that. But I felt him on that. I felt Melvin like he was, even though Jody was kind of on his entrepreneur shit because he was already a salesman, but he was telling Jody stuff that he didn't know. Because when I first started out as a street vendor, I was kind of like Jody in a way. That's why I could relate to Jody, because I live with my mama and I'm a street vendor. I walk around and I sell stuff, merchandise. You know what I'm saying? Basic stuff that people need and want, right? But when I was younger, when I was like Jody's age in my 20s, I was kind of still on my materialistic shit. Or at least I want to be materialistic. Or I had desires to be mad materialistic. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to make money as a street vendor. Because I wanted to buy fly clothes and stuff like that, you know. But for some reason, I just did not put saving money or spending money on re-up before I bought, like, my Raiders hats, because I was a Raiders fan. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and Jody in the movie he wasn't really materialistic in the movie, really. I mean, he bought some nice stuff for himself and for his girl and his little son, but he wasn't really materialistic in the movie. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really materialistic in the movie, though. You know what I'm saying? But so he was putting him on to game. But Melvin was still crazy, though. He changed his life around, but he was still crazy. Like, he wasn't no longer about that murder game. But you talk to him wrong, he'll fuck you up. You already seen it in the movie of Baby Boy when he choked Jody up. He choked him the fuck up. He choked him the fuck up. I grew up around niggas like Melvin. I'm from the Bronx. I'm not from LA, but every hood is the same to a certain degree. I grew up with people like Melvin, and people like that, and I already knew off the gate not to talk to certain people like that. Not to talk sideways to people like that. It's not about being scared of somebody. It's just about respect. That's all it is. It's about respect. But anyway, but I noticed that, right? Sweet Pea, the brother that fucked up the sale, the brother that was very impulsive about money, and he was real frustrated about getting money because he was broke. Even though when Melvin walked in the room, I noted when Melvin walked in the room and dropped that little financial education lesson, Sweet Pea, who's a killer himself in the hood, because we all remember in the end of the Baby Boy movie, Sweet Pea killed the brother, or killed the character that Jody had beef with, which was Snoop Dogg's character. he, he killed him like it was nothing. Jody, he's not really a killer. He's a little rough around the edges, but he's not really a killer, and he was scared to kill him. So the dude, Sweet Pea, he killed him like it was nothing. So when Sweet Pea, anyway, going back, Sweet Pea was listening to what Melvin was saying, because in the movie it was kind of telling you the similarities between Melvin and Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea and Melvin in the movie, they didn't really cross paths too much or like that or whatever, but Sweet Pea was kind of listening to what Melvin was saying, because he was an OG from the hood, because he's an OG from the hood, and he's a former killer, and he used to be a troublemaker, a gangster, whatever, and all that, right? So Sweet Pea was just looking at him like, he was taking heed to what he was saying. He was really listening to him like, like he was, because he respected him at the end of the day. He respected him because real recognized real. But Jody, he wasn't trying to listen to a thing that Melvin was saying, even though he was making sense because of his own ego. He was like, "Oh, this old nigga, this old head, this nigga's all up in my house. You know, I just met this nigga, fucking my mama. You know what I'm saying? Drinking all the Kool-Aid. Man, fuck this nigga, man. Blah 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 blah. You know? You know what I mean? But um but yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But some of y'all probably didn't notice that Sweet Pea really had respect for Melvin. He had more respect for Melvin than Jody. Just because they both got similar backgrounds. See, Jody in the movie he was rough around the edges, but he wasn't a criminal. Like I said, he didn't resort to selling drugs or robbing people. He was selling merchandise, which is all good. That's even better. So Sweet Pea, he didn't relate to Jody to a certain degree, even though they were both best friends. He related to him because they both, more or less, because they both from the hood, because they grew up together. And Jody, he had a little bit more patience than Sweet Pea. Jody wasn't really short tempered. He wasn't really short tempered. Jody's the type of person he let shit. He's the type of nigga in the hood. If somebody talks to him sideways, he'll let it go. Sweet Pea, you talk to him sideways, he might shoot you. But anyway, go moving on. Oh yeah, I also like that when Melvin and Jody was together in the living room, Melvin actually put Jody on to the bartering system, which is trading items for items or services for services. You know what I'm saying? He was like, when brothers and sisters didn't have no money in the hood, we bartered. Whenever we didn't have no money to, so we could, whatever, we bartered just as an alternative for not having it. So, and the bartering system is a good system, by the way. Because you create leverage when you use the bartering system. You either saving money or you could invest money into your business or into whatever you're doing. So the bartering system does work. Anyway, that's all I had to say. That's what I picked up from the movie Baby Boy as far as financial education and a little bit of financial points. Anybody anybody that picked up different other financial points that I probably didn't pick up, let me know, in the comment section. Or give me life lessons. What you learned from the movie Baby Boy? You know, what you learned from the movie Baby Boy? Anyway, I'm out. Anybody like this episode, like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. And remember, when you subscribe, ring that bell. Also, if you definitely like this episode of Grind Ethics, I'd be very grateful if anyone could drop a friendly donation. The link is down below. Grind Ethics Cash App. Ain't no stress. Anyway, I'm out. And remember, peoples, I always got to say this. Tell a friend to tell a friend. That is all about the motherfucking grind, basically.